Good afternoon. Apologize, bit of technical difficulty back here with us on my field here at Carrollton State. I'm in Ann Arbor, where the Boilermakers right now top of the first at bat versus the Michigan Wolverines was first of three series. You look to make a statement. I think there's why freshman Anna Moore out of hometown kid out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And then that was the play against Michigan's Aaron Haynes. Well, just about 4 year is that one goes. So review now two on.
Designated player number 43, Haley Painter.
Ace first inning with Caleb Brown. How are we?
Oh, doing well. It's a pleasure to be alongside you. Privilege is always to be at the hutch.
This is what's the count? The pitch. We on base now for the Boilermakers. Michigan in trouble early in the game.
Yeah, dangerous spot for the Wolverines. They started out well with an out on the first batter, but right now they've walked three consecutive batters. Bases loaded right now, but gets one out for the Wolverines.
Talking over at the plate. This is a Michigan team thing. So, see if we first got constructed. Not a great start to see this far. It's in the Big Ten. Yeah, series to get back on track. Said coach, Mike Grizzotti, they don't do Michigan assistant. After development, let them come up. And this really, how to build this pretty program back up. Eight, down the middle. Two, out. This one here, foul ball. Maybe. Line drive there. Foul. Try to close this out. Only one out here. So getting you three on a space load. Try to make what they would wait. Thank you, Mike.
Much needed out for the Wolverines. This is a big series right here. And chance to go out of the inning without any runs given up. Bases loaded still for the Boilermakers.
Kind of settled in. Sorry against Washington, not really bad. Success switches the game went on. Second Big Ten series. So I'm in a battle right now with Reef at the plate. Reef, deep shot, deep center field. That will be center field by sack fly out there by the Wolverines were able to escape the first inning. Boilermakers had eight, unable to come up and hitting runs here. Tough first come third.
Yeah, and you have to be proud of the effort for the Wolverines. That was a great series in this top of the first inning. Uh, Obviously, you had 3 walks in a row. Nonetheless, Wolverines were able to get out of that inning without giving up any runs. Great effort by the Wolverine defense.
It's again trying to get back on track. I think last couple of games, couple of series.
The most wins 100 minutes of all age. World deep here.
Senior out there out LA, California. Right now, they're hitting a really nice 96 average. See efficient class here. So if they get talk about the teams where the preseason expectations play. We saw this year last year, the people run is less minute. Well, see, opposite was just they're able to go deep. This season, the expectation obviously a bit higher. But watching Upsons how well Big Michigan has to start playing to get back to that state.
For sure, they've had a really great start to this season. Obviously, a little bit of a rougher start in the Big Ten, going 0-6 with the last 2 series against Nebraska and Washington over the last few weekends. But really, this Purdue team offers Michigan a great challenge, but also an opportunity to get back into Big Ten and play and get back into consideration to make a run in the Big Ten. Obviously, just two weekends in the Big Ten, so there's still some time to go. And yeah, this weekend has a chance to be a huge turn in the season for the Wolverines right now.
Langford now steps to the plate. Skipping 6. From his set Boilermakers. So nice series. Last series hosting freaking Ducks. Baker steps out of the way. Eric pitch. Goes to Ryan. Bit of win here. Bit of a Justin. It's been a crazy weather weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've got warm. It's an up and down.
I'm not expecting if it starts snowing tomorrow this rate because it's just super unpredictable. But when we're out here, game being played, league's going on.
Yeah, the calendar's about to flip coming up next week, but I don't know if it officially feels like April here yet.
Like we're just in a battle right now. And except that bunt goes out down the left baseline. Another foul ball there. Good win for still got 2-2 here. Langford in a bad. And what a play. That was. Yep, and more. This is diving catch right there. First out as Langford thought she hit one to a zone. I was having a discussion now. It's like, probably Caleb, did she players come together? And taking the running catch by Ann.
Yeah, it looked fair to me. It didn't look like it had touched the ground. It looked like a clean catch.
So it's leader of 8. It's the final decision. Being tied here 0. Jessica Conway steps to the plate for the Wolverines. Conway hitting 4-15 for the season. There are many California natives on this roster. Seven, nice one. That one looks like goes through. How can she get there? And ruled out. Great play there again by Ann Arbor. Well, that's like a play for the Wolverines. Set that one high. Ball is a call 2-1 the count. That one goes foul. We are experiencing a bit of just some technical difficulties here at WCBN FM on Ugly as putts get struck out, and that'll end the first inning for us. Okay, Caleb, a bit of a rough start here regarding some of the technical difficulties, but nevertheless, once again, team coming in, offer really exciting series in Oregon Ducks and Michigan. Coming out of their series against Washington, it's tough tough losing streak looking to end that here today. Looking at again, to some of the top ends, Indiana Langford and Jessica Conway, Lauren Putz, all don't get something. In softball and baseball, the really hard to get consistent hits, base, and runs and whatnot. But offensively especially, what do you think? Just issue daily, getting offensive production.
Yeah, I think the pitching game as well is something that has a chance to shut the Boilermakers down early, and I think really we obviously there were some walks that happened in that first inning, but overall the Wolverines were able to get out of the first inning without giving up any runs. And I think at the end of the day that is always a positive, and I expect to see the same going down to these next 8 innings. I think so far the defenses have looked great on both sides coming out early into this game. And so obviously a lot of game left to be played, and I'm excited to see how it plays out for both of these teams.
Yeah, you said Wicks right there as players, warming up, getting ready to come back out on the pitch for both the Wolverines and the Boilermakers as see who's the number 15 more Condon for the Boilermakers up at the plate.
1-1 count.
Right down middle strike. One piece for the count. As diving attempt, they're in and out by what was Matt Greenwood. Able to get it to Langford, first base, out for the Wolverines.
Has been the cover for highly ranked.
As we're in a bit of a defensive slugfest here early, that was like giving it up as the pitch goes low. Oh, Frank's now baseman for the Boilermakers. Up to late. Thanks a junior. And then he's going to Vienna. As it's in that one goes foul. He regathering himself and brings himself back to the plate here. Top of second. White again. Caleb, we saw this a bit with, against Washington. Haynes just kind of, really good pitch, but sometimes is, losing himself on a couple of those pitches and a couple, those, inside view. Then as Franks goes up, pop up, out, easy work for Langford. 2 outs now for the Wolverines.
Stop,
But Caleb, you talk about Haynes, sometimes you should get stuff a bit at times as those as those pitches go errant.
Yeah, it is definitely unfortunate because errors, simple mistakes, can really cost the team. One of the more unforgiving sports in softball and baseball for sure.
Strike right down the middle. And like a bit of a bit of abundance of there from excuse me in Campbell. And groans from the home crowd. That one called a ball 2-1 the count. Tim, what do you see so far from just the pitching style and Michigan's defense overall? After holding defense right there, we see another one as where Michigan able to get off the field yet again.
Yeah, I see. I think I see a hard-working defense that really not too many people really consider Michigan right now a strongly defensive team. Uh, but sometimes that doesn't matter. So far they've been able to come in and get the job done in these first 2 innings, with relatively very few mistakes other than a few walks in the first inning, but already significant improvement in that second inning, and we're already going to the bottom of the second, so that's that's the progress.
Yeah, and we just been talking about pitching a bit. Michigan's going to hand power the hitters to top the third, inside zones, try to hit the corners of that strike box. Sometimes when we look at pitchers like Kane and look what she's doing today, it looks like she's doing that really well.
Yeah, I could not agree more. And now, at the bottom of the second inning, there's a chance for the Wolverines to see if they can get some runners on base and try to go ahead early in this game.
Family. Number 11.
Rapers second of offensive back for the Wolverines as Haynes' first hit goes flying out of the stadium. Down the middle. Really, ball 1-1 the count. For the season, 386. Not too shabby. As I said, still commanding the mound for the Boilermakers as this time it's foul out wide to the right. He will continue to play on. Us now staring down Kane. That one was right down the middle, but they'll call ball. 2-2 the count. Gossip really coming on in recent weeks for the Boilermakers. That one, another foul ball down the baseline for Michigan. As that one will land in the zone for the Wolverines as Banks comes in to free the ball, but Hayne able to find that zone in between infield and outfield. And another RBI here early for Michigan in the second inning.
Yeah, a great start for the Wolverines. Still 0 outs, one runner on base. As they'll bring in the pinch runner for Aaron Hayne.
Next up, here, Stevenson up now for Michigan. Stevenson hitting 238 as that first one, again, just bit wide there by Gossett. Still hanging in here. And hard swing there. Stevenson, Algonac, Michigan native. Count is 1-1. I said in a bunt there by Stevenson. And she will tag out, but aim.
It's going to Lexi Delamonica on second as a in for Aaron Hayne as pinch runner.
It will make it the second and up next. Number 20, Lily Valmont. One of these state Wolverines. As Richard Jr. let the first one go.
Much desired school in and out of Michigan. Very popular.
You talk about, especially in today's world of, just NIL and, the blue blood schools, a lot of sports are no more. How just, Kev, you can speak on, how hard it is for getting really good players to just, stay in state or go to, still revered as, one of the better schools in their sport.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the world needs more of the Will Cheddars, if you will, of college sports.
Yeah, I mean, we look at it's a crazy sphere right now. I mean, college football, college basketball, softball, baseball. There's so much money involved in. We love guys, men and women getting paid at a much younger age, pretty much above table now. But to a certain extent, now you miss if you get March Madness, the lack of the Cinderella team.
Yeah.
And, it's a bit tough, but, love to, still see players, choosing to suit up for the hometown team as Valmont in a just battle right now, 3-2 the count against Cassette, who's still in there for the Boilermakers. Cassette looking to her bench, deciding what to throw next.
Yeah, it's always refreshing to know that there are.
As looked like that might have bounced in, but umpire calls foul. Three two still a count. Valmont will have at least one more opportunity. As that one right down the middle, strike out. As Cassette able to raise the count to 2. Erickson back up at the plate. Looking to score runner home in this at bat here. Another one wide. Dylan Monica was looking to steal there, barely able to make it back to second. As more for Purdue was ready. Back to the mound. The set has the 1-1 count against Erickson. Erickson will take it. That one fouls over and back. Now, 2 strikes to him. Can the set bring the Boilermakers home in this inning? Count is 1-2. 2 outs. 1 woman on second. Erickson. That would be called a put ball. Looked like could have been in his zone. Nevertheless, 2-2 the count. As we said, wonder what kind of pitch we'll see from her on this one. Trying to close out the second inning. Still scoreless here in Ann Arbor. As that one also goes, well, now 3-2. Erickson biding her time patiently at the plate thus far. That one, a foul ball into the stands. Erickson Cassette now just in a tight pat. It's low, and Erickson will get walked. Now 2 women on, first and second. Still 2 outs. Is now Avery Fantucci, the 5'8" senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, now at the plate for the Wolverines. Wolverines now with a real chance to take first blood here early as the score remains 0-0 here in the bottom of the second inning in Ann Arbor. Michigan versus Purdue. As that one high. Ball. And Fantucci with the early advantage to it. Now Erickson. 1-1. That one will also go down as a strike. So 1-2 now is set with a chance to end the inning without giving up any runs and keep the score tied up at zeros. That one goes foul. Harrison will live, Fantucci will live to see another at bat. It's a foul ball with a drive. Yeah, Caleb, just a straight battle going on right now down there.
Yeah, and really overall today, the story has been the defensive battle through these first 2 innings, absolutely scoreless for both teams, and flawless performance from both teams on defense.
As I said, now that one goes up and will be cheap by the catcher. the set, able to get out of that one again. Had two women on base, but Purdue able to escape second inning, and we remain scoreless here as we head into the third inning. Purdue next up. Caleb, what are you looking to see from Purdue's offense this time to try to get it going?
They've been able to get some walks, especially early in that first inning, and I mean obviously it's been a defensive battle, and that's been the story of today. And so I think just obviously one hit allowed for both of the teams. So at this point, anything helps to try to get some offensive momentum going. And yeah, that's basically the plan for the Boilermakers is try to bring in those runners, bring them in across the plate, and try to go up early on in this game.
And on the other side, obviously, Erin Hain, she's been having a sort of performance so far. Few strikeouts. Let's him be on base, but nonetheless has been able to stop maximum damage from happening thus far, and that's been something we've been seeing so far. Excuse me, especially in Big Ten play, is Michigan being able to start out strong, but there was the game on just one or two hits slip by you, and all of a sudden down 2-0, or you got 3 runs going in. So for Hain and Michigan defense to be able to still be here in this one, as Chloe Banks will step into play for her second trip to the at bat. 0 for 1 so far today. Banks with the hitting .433 for the season, 13 RBIs. As that one goes up and able to be retrieved by Erickson. Michigan gets quick out here. Banks now 0 for 2. Now, college sensation. All right, Polar now 1 for 1 already. 590 average. 3 home runs so far. 36 RBI scale. How crazy is that? Especially at this point in the season.
I know those are some very, very impressive stats. So
lefty going up against Hain. Righty has a nice hit down to left field. It's Mills now with another one. He's going to round it, but stays put at first.
Yeah, we just talked about trying to get those hits in and trying to build some momentum on offense is definitely what both teams need, and it looks like Purdue has been able to do that so far in the top of this third inning.
Now, out Mills and Moore. Another lefty, as that one goes through. An error there by Langford. That's what you see every day, from one of the more seasoned players on this team, Caleb. Just kind of just like she had it and just slipped through her glove there. Purdue now 2 on base early.
Yeah, an unfortunate mistake, but it does happen sometimes, depending on the surface of the dirt. It definitely is a mistake you see.
So Painter at the plate today. It's easy because a lot of people might mistake Haley Painter to be related to basketball head coach Matt Painter, but that folks is actually not the case. I know everybody's sadly mistaken, as Bonnetempo was foul, and Mills trying to steal.
She will.
Looks like she got him, and looks like Michigan event was off the base. Looks like it was.
They might have a look at it.
Trying to make her hit like she was on base, and as Armstrong comes together, make a call, it looked like it looked like Fantucci's foot was on the base, but I guess saw it a different angle that maybe we can't see from up here in the press booth. But Mills just incredible sliding attempts. And now we hear an official review of the call. It's going to take place.
Yeah, look, yeah, from up here, it definitely looks like it was an out. I'm not sure. I guess the angle from third base looked a lot different at the initial call. The save, but obviously under review. But we'll have a look at it on the screen here.
And it looks like that. It looks like what the Michigan bench originally thought, what most of the fans in the stands originally thought. It looks like Fintu did have her left foot on the base bag before Mills's hand reached that.
Yeah, to me, from what I saw in the replay on the screen, it really looked like it was an out still. We'll see what the officials decide.
Just about any second now, as we remain scoreless here in the third inning. This great. Caleb, it's a great time to be watching this game. Michigan softball, they are on the come up, and that's a lot of these other programs at the school, with men's and women's across in the last decade, it's a change. Seeing the resurgence of men's basketball, led by head coach Justin Bowe. Michigan's football lifted up the resurgence. It's just an exciting time to be a fan.
Yeah, I could not agree more, and especially today and this weekend. What a weekend for Michigan athletics. We've got both basketball teams in the Sweet 16.
And
the call was upheld.
it looks like you did not, in fact, was able to get Mills out at the plate. As now women on second and third for Purdue, with Painter still at the plate. Count 1-2-1 now. One out. And that one goes high. Still over catcher Valmont's head there. Well, that's able to corral it. Out now at 3-1. And now Painter will walk. Bases loaded. Now, Caleb, this is where we start to get into, mentioning, letting up, a couple of runs, in one inning, and the game seemed to get out of reach.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen it happen several times this season. Obviously, a rough start in Big Ten play. Although so far that no one has crossed the plate yet, so Wolverines still definitely have a chance to get out of this inning without giving up any of those runs. One out right now, chance to make it two. As Lady Reef steps up to the plate for the Boilermakers.
Once again, 190 for the as once again bases ball loaded for Purdue. Top of the third, one out. Reef at the plate. And what will she dial up here? As that one goes up high. It's a hard thud right next to us in the stands. As Jamie tried to make a run at it. Nevertheless, count 0-1. You now chance to strike gold. 3 foul. Some damage here. 16 RBIs in the season as that one. Deep shot in the center field.
Oh,
And what a catch there by center fielder Conway. But we nevertheless able to get one. That was there able to cash it in. Now it's also 1-0 lead here in the fold.
that second out really does save the Wolverines from something much worse than the one run.
Taking there by pitcher and catcher from Michigan. Now last the set up. Second time as the pitch goes up and over into the stands. Michigan right now just trying to stop the bleeding. Kane slows down the set. Another one up and over. Back to back fouls. Count 1-2. Who leads 1-0 after a great catch in center field by just Conway deep center field. Made by the Lenny Reef, which allowed Mariah Mills to Mariah Pole to walk it in. Nothing lead, first run of the day for the Boilermakers. Set, high,
And they will
on there. There's that happening with Buffalo. Michigan able to escape the third, allowing one. Now it's their turn to strike one void. Michigan still runs up on the board after Bowler gets hurt. I think next up Caleb has to try to get something going.
Yeah, for sure. There is definitely an important inning for the Wolverines. Just the third inning, not out of the game by any means. The defense did overall a great job, and I think that at the end of the day, that the top of the third inning was a win for the Wolverines. Only giving up one run and being able to get those 3 outs, and definitely a pivotal moment for the Wolverines. Definitely, as far as on offense, they need to get a lot more momentum going, and this third inning presents a great opportunity for them to do just that.
Scale 2 figures here at the Carrollton Stadium in Ann Arbor. Once again, you're in between third inning. Michigan about to take the batter boxes. Purdue's defense gets set to go. Dylan Aqua, senior from out of Fort Mill, South Carolina. One great improvement. Hitting 3-3 men this season. 125. We should lost. The set battling as Aqua let that go. Aqua, that one goes high. Polar there. Quick first out there.
Good first baseman.
Five ball there goes. Taking
Number 44 in.
star junior outfielder for Purdue. Langford now back at the plate. So far today, 0 for 1. And we'll let this one go. Start off this at bat. Go as a strike. All one, strike one. Here in the third inning. It's 1-0. After Raya has ball there. 2-2 now, all evened up the count. Said as Bushi can shut down the Wolverines. Batting so far, can you do it again? As that would have been high.
Full count.
Full count. One. We've seen a couple of these go the Sets way. We've seen a couple of these go Michigan's way. Which one will it be? As Conway getting warmed up, ready to go up next at bat on deck. And they'll get walks. Langford will get walks at first base. Michigan
This
to the first one of the inning. Way damage. Party so for one today, but we'll know that she can add up the outfield in a matter of seconds. That one goes high. Over. Get out. So now high, arcing into left field, and Polar is there again. Boy, how many times has Polar done that today for the Boilermakers?
Enough to keep the Wolverines from scoring today so far through 3 innings, and they have a good chance at closing out this inning.
But back up to the plate for the Wolverines. Last season, freshman, all American. So is the all Big Ten freshman team as that one goes foul. That's an interesting family story. Caleb, Michigan seemed to be, a big choice as her father. JJ went here in the late 90s, roomed with, one of them, Tom Brady. That, obviously went on to NFL all-time great.
Yeah,
So it seems like this is all but certain a homecoming for her to become a Michigan leader.
yeah, of course, and it just the legacy that this school has, in so many aspects. You got sports and academics, and it all comes together in this southeast Michigan city.
Wind continues to blow here. Bit of a briskly already, high 30s essentially, and then wind as deep, hurting by putts as she rounds it and hits a double. But Langford goes in and she just scored a diving attempt. Michigan ties it up at 1. A great deep shot there by Hudson to right center field allows Langford to round the bases and head home.
Yeah,
That's-
that was just what the Wolverines needed. Couldn't have come at a better time for them, and we're all tied up.
Ask ourselves before the inning who is going to come up with the offensive spark. Lauren Putz said, got it. Now Haynes back to play for her second trip of the day.
Number 11 in Arizona.
Oh, but striking less against disgruntled folks in the crowd, Caleb, but the call is the call. It's said so in their battling. So, Coach Rosodi talks in and over. Head up. Not sure what the argument was there, but they sort of just about to go get back into action here. Again, it's just tied it up here in the bottom of the third. One piece. One count. Set as game with a deep shot in the center field.
And
That's out of there. Home run for the pitcher. The Michigan now takes a one here in the third. Big time home run there. As Michigan able to add on 2 more here. And an offensive explosion happening in the third.
Yeah, and that's just exactly what we just talked about a few innings ago. The momentum that is just so much, that was just so needed for both of these teams early on. And we went scoreless in 2 innings, but a really eventful third inning on both sides of the ball. And the Wolverines taking an early lead. Still 4 innings to go, and only 2 outs for the Wolverines, so still a chance to make it more.
And Stevenson now back to the plate. As one more look at that home run there by Haynes. Bit of a intermission at the on plate. It's ready to go. Set. Stevenson. Hitter. Down as a strike. 0-2 is the count. 2 outs. Still has a chance to do some more damage here in the third. Set trying to close the deal. And that one will
Nice clutch.
stands. Crowd goes wild. Fan able to come down with it. Look, that's I've never been able to do that. When a ball goes into the crowd, and especially when it's cold out, try to catch it with their hand. There's a football or baseball or softball. That's a pretty impressive feat. I can never do that. A couple of times it's happened to me as Stevenson. That one looks like it went slightly off her bat. Will be foul. Count still 0-2. Here, bottom of the third. Let's get Michigan exploding for a 3-1 lead. That's an Aaron Haynes home run. 2-run home run. Put them over the top. Seldom battle ended as swing and a miss by Stevenson ends Michigan's offensive run in the third inning. Still, Michigan able to find that spark as we head for the Caleb. We're looking at it so far. And Michigan obviously some tough series against Washington, Nebraska. So the two solid Big Ten songs, but once again, your Michigan program that was looking for some higher aspirations this year, and for coming off some tough, especially in conference losses that we certainly looked at. Big Ten from it, it's the delay as it's a May and whatnot. In Michigan, this has to continue to keep doing offensive and defensively to have a real chance of real shots. Look back and in the talks.
we've talked about it a little bit earlier today, but this series against Purdue this weekend presents a great opportunity for the Wolverines to kickstart their time in the Big Ten and in conference play. Obviously, it's been a rough start, but there's still a lot of conference play to happen before the Big Ten tournament rolls around. And today, like I said, presents a great opportunity for the Wolverines. And right now, they're off to a very good start as we're about a little under halfway through this game. And they've gone up early. Still a lot of game left to be played. We'll see if Wolverines are able to hang on to this lead and claim their first win in Big Ten play this season.
What's going on right now? Caleb, we need depends what games to go to, but especially I feel like here with Michigan and especially football and basketball, it's the same. 5 songs and they're really good songs. We get hype music and whatever, but I just want a bit of difference. And when I go to softball or I go to lacrosse games, just a good variety.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like the lacrosse playlist. Is definitely, I would say, rather unconventional for an athletic game. You hear a lot of rap music, which is obviously a great hip hop, great genre. But it's great. It's nice to spice things up every once in a while.
Especially when basically electronic country, in there. Shout out to the ones who DJ at football and basketball, but just a bit of a mix because hey, Ross, softball, baseball, they're kind of taking over in the music realm here. Hockey as well has some good stuff. As that is just a miscommunication right there. As I believe that's Con able to Erickson and Langford.
Number 4, Riley Front.
A bit of a miscommunication of who had the ball, who's going to get it, and Honda takes advantage, manages to get on base. Able to get one on early as a result. 1 on, 0 outs here. Top of the 4th inning in Ann Arbor. As a bunt here attempt as Haynes makes a smart play, gets it to first.
Shortstop number 23.
As it was kind of frames the bunt attempt, but Purdue able to make it the second. So 1 out, top of the 4th. On second. Now, it's Ashton Campbell. Friday 0 for 1. And have fun saying this. Wetumpka, Alabama. There's a lot of, just crazy, towns. So you go to the south as small infield hit right there by Campbell. Langford, get it out there. But, deep south and You go further out west, you just run into some town names where you're like, huh, how do you say this? How do you Long Island, in the New York area, a lot of towns like that as well. Native American town names as Banks now back at the plate so far today, 0 for 2 for the someone that hits at 433 average. Top one of the better hitters in the country is Chloe Banks. And show if that one goes well. Count now up to 2-0. 2 outs. 1 on. Third base for the Boilermakers. And that one also, so 3 straight balls here for Hayne. See if she can reassert herself in this at bat here. Goes down, and that'll be a strike right on cue. So 3-1 now. Condon on third base. Wishing to take off. Those Banks has here. And just like that, 2 quick strikes by Hayne. Full count. It Banks on the Boilermakers Nomads. There does not connect. Michigan escapes again.
Yeah, what an inning for the Wolverines. They're currently, as we talked about, 0-6 in Big Ten play. But right now they're really not playing like it. How we go to the bottom of the fourth, so basically halfway through this game, the Wolverines are up 3-1, and that's definitely impressive to see. What you want to see if you're a fan of Michigan.
Nodding their head yet. In 3.
I mean, as now take the field, you're warmed up. Michigan now with a chance to continue the offensive momentum here, carry into the 4th inning.
And my
As looks like what a seems like Ray's little fan engagement. I was never, I was listening to Caleb. I was never selected for this. So the potato sack race or the, where I'm from Washington Nationals, they'll have the president's race. And I was never selected for that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was,
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I always felt some kind of way.
Yeah, I don't know where they have the signups for these things.
I would be looking. I would show the game early, asking the event staff. My dad really, because I was shopping down with the asking the staff.
Yeah.
Hey, my son's trying to do this. Anticipated this thing as Valmont will step to the plate for the Wolverines. But hey, gotta love it. Gotta love kids. That's what it's all about. Growing the sport, all facets. I mean, we love to see younger kids at the games as Valmont's first crack at it goes foul. As it's still in there. Essentially halfway into this ball game. Low pitch. Results in a ball. 1-1 to count. To start the bottom of the 4th inning. As another goes foul, up and over. 1-2 for hometown junior, Trenton, Michigan. Gonna make a statement here. Another one goes foul. Almont to just stand our ground at the plate. See, that's what we've seen a lot, Caleb, with Michigan's offense of waiting, just waiting out, being patient, not to at every pitch that seems like would be in the zone. And we saw, especially in the third inning, that explosiveness by Hayne, by putts, really come to fruition. Swing and a miss right there. This with one out. Valman will head back to the dugout. On comes Eric. Listen. I have a question before the game goes before I said hitting. But nevertheless, lo and behold, she is out there. And great play there by Campbell.
Yeah, saved what would have most likely have been a base hit for the Wolverines. Instead, it's 2 outs for the Boilermakers.
Going over her head. So Junior able to corral it. Great reflexes there by the shortstop. Sushi now, so far today, 0 for 1. The swing and miss there now. She's trying to get herself going. Now, hold a strike. Count down quickly. 0-2, 2 outs. Purdue can get off the field defensively here. Just a bit of a lucky attempt there, but regardless, was foul. To live to see another bat.
Yeah, I put foul tap. We played Tucci. Stays alive. 0-2 count still. 2 outs.
And that one, easy. Pitch was right to the dirt, putting the set, able to growl it and move first base, and that is how the fourth inning comes to an end. Michigan still leads 3-1. We head into now top of the fifth. Once again, after Putz hit a nice double to send her teammate home, and then followed up instantly by Aaron Hayne, 2-run homer, put Michigan ahead of Purdue late from the bottom of the third. So again, Michigan now defensively they've been able to, with the regard of one time they had bases loaded in top in the third inning there, Caleb. They were still able to escape with only 1 run, but that's what they would obviously allow and give up every single time.
For sure. Yeah, and we're going to the fifth. It's still it's a 3-1 game for the Wolverines. 3 innings to go. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the Michigan defense continue to do what it has done all game long so far early on into this 3-game series against Purdue. Really coming off to a very strong start in these first 4 innings. Only giving up one run, only 3 hits, just 1 error. 1 error, very impressive start so far.
Polar now, so far today, 2 for 2. Again, we're hitting at a 6.59 clip. As another one right on cue, straight into center field. Looking around the base, she'll stay at just a single, but right, holy. Michigan just has no answer for 44 in White King.
Yeah, both been very successful both offensively and defensively today for Pollard.
Pollard was ranked number 10 overall in the 2023 recruiting class. As a bunt attempt goes as looked like Erickson was able to foil the original attempt, but could not get it to her first baseman, Ramey, cleanly. And Polar was able to get back to the base. Nevertheless, Purdue still has one on, one out. It's Painter's turn for the Boilermakers. So if that Painter, a couple walks. And that one will go up. And Valmont able to make a nice play on it. Had it right before it went out of bounds. Out, now up to 2. Great awareness right there by Valmont.
2 outs, 1 on first.
Brief now. Take a step back after this pitch is called a ball. Purdue still has one on Polar at first. Count 1-0 as another pop up, and that one just hits the edge of the fence. Ramey unable to make a play. And Reef, nice hit in left field. Stevenson able to throw it, and once again, Michigan's defense standing tall.
Yeah, it's been the story of the game so far. Both defenses look very strong at the start of the game. Both sides were able to get some momentum going in that third inning. Overall, though, the Wolverines had a lot more momentum. 3-run inning in the third, and we go into the bottom of the fifth. It's a 2-run game. Still anyone's game, but right now the Wolverines look very unwavering on defense.
So just under a minute before we play here. Talking about, Michigan's ability so far this game defensively, and we saw how, it was really wasn't an entire, unraveling. It was just maybe an inning here or there. So, against Washington that cost this team. And so far, you're looking at, Purdue 2 more chances to get a crack at it. But, Michigan so far, Caleb, what have you liked from them, comparison to, the previous last couple of games and their ability to not let let Polar, like Campbell, or let one of these other, big sluggers get out ahead of them?
Yeah, I think it comes down to I think the mistakes that were made. There were obviously a lot of careless mistakes made in the series against Nebraska and against Washington. And really, we've seen a lot less of those today. At the moment, only one error for the Wolverines today, and only 1 run allowed, just 3 hits. That's a significant improvement from the last couple weekends that we've seen.
As seen earlier, Aqua for the Wolverines at the plate so far today, 0 for 1. 339 for the season. Aqua looking to get back on base in this one. Set. Bunt. There.
Oh,
It stays fair. The set looking for it to maybe take a foul bounce, but stays in. And Alakaloy does what she's taught to do. Run the full length of the baseline. Successful bunt attempt. Yeah, the set just stopped. Like it was going to take a foul of balance. Stays in there. Michigan hits 1 on early here. Now Langford back up. There's lefty. Also tries a bunt, but does not go. count now 1-0. Michigan still leading here in Ann Arbor 3-1. Boston again, hard down the middle. That will ultimately call the ball 2-0 now. Count. It looks like Coach Rizzotti comes back out onto the mound. We'll talk it over. And yeah, let's talk this whole thing. So obviously, bit of a not even say dire situation. Right now, Michigan, they seem to be hitting the ball, shooting well right now. And but for Purdue, and we've been, held scoreless, for this long. Something's got to give. If you are on that Boilermakers dugout right now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. They've been really, with the exception of the third inning, the Boilermakers have been shut down on defense every single time, and they really need some momentum going as we're on the second half of the game if they want to try to get back into this.
Gossett still in there. As Pittsburgh not really fighting. Nevertheless, a strike is just down the middle. Denisa Conway on deck for Michigan. Dangerous times here for Purdue. As another bunt attempt by Langford. Ranks there to try to chase it out. Stays 2-2 count. Her best to stay in this fight. Gossett again. And that one goes foul. Bit of a chant here starting here in the stands as that one will be called a ball. A little bit of a call right there. Nevertheless, Michigan able to 5-2 the full count. Langford now. We have at least one more crack at it. It's Gossett. And what a nice reflex there by Franks. Able to get him out there on the lead glove. As Langford still able to make the first. Nevertheless, one out now for Michigan. Bottom of fifth. Now, Gossett at 77, which is big workload today for the junior. Take that one, let it go. It's ball one. Up one, bit high. Second ball. Last notice in a bit of, she's nears almost now 80 pitches for the day. A bit of wear. Wonder how much longer she'll be in there for you. As that one, deep hit. Going over the wall. Second homer of the day. Make it 2.
That's another 2-run home run.
As Michigan's second 2-run home run of the day. This offense, what is turning into an offensive onslaught here in the last couple of innings for the Wolverines. As Janisa Conway with an absolute rusher. Deep right center field. Puts Michigan up now 5-1, bottom of the 5th inning. Purdue searching for answers. Now, again, Pups now back up to 1 for 2. And then it's dumping in the third. Now, looks like changes could be coming soon for the Boilermakers on the mound. Putz does not bite. Last strike called. Count 1-1, 1 out. No one on base for Michigan right now after 2 minutes. This see 2-1 home run. Janissa Conway. Michigan up 5-1, expanding the lead to 4 as that's foul goes back, which was the crowd. Count now 1-2. That one called a ball for the Wolverines as Asa having her bearings. Let that one go. Full count again. Semimir and Gossip force the out. Low ball there. Into another walk here. Clutch will make her way to first. All things going Michigan's way so far here in the bottom of the fifth. As Kane now back at the plate. Kane was right at Frank. She's unable to grab it. And a nice hit there. Michigan offense starting to turn on Jets.
Runners on first and second now for Wolverines. Still only 1 out.
As bit of a put time out here. And just like as Clint Stevenson will be one up next for the Wolverines. Maybe she can continue what's the opposite of success kid like we're seeing here so far, and it really just since the third inning, Michigan has taken off while Purdue has seemingly slowed down.
Yeah, for sure. Still 1 out. The Wolverines really have so much momentum right now going to the bottom of this 5th inning, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them come in with possibly bringing a few more runs before for these 3 outs.
Michigan with the runners on. We saw Purdue not being able to take advantage of those early opportunities. Purdue 0 for 10 with opportunities to score with runners on. Michigan 4 for 8, 0% to 50%. Pretty drastic gap there. But finding reason of this score that we see here as Steve Smith by the strike called. 1-1 now the count, 1 out. Michigan has 2 on. Bassett looking to try to just get out of this inning right now. High ball there is. I was thinking steal. Comes back. Or ready. Looking to just continue try to just keep on down the inside corners. It's straight there. 2 now the count. As that one up pretty high, almost seems like that's a step back a bit there. Count now at 3-2, and the interesting thing is right here, Caleb, because get a get another ball here, get a walk, or Stevenson gets even a single. Bases loaded. Michigan still only has 1 out, can still do some damage as right on cue a hit to left field as Bowler shows to corral it, managed to get it in home. But Michigan now, like we just said, for what Purdue cannot afford, single bases loaded, and up next is number. Yep, that is Belmont up at the plate.
Yeah, that was a much needed out for the Purdue Boilermakers. And unfortunately, they weren't able to get one there. And bases are loaded now. Just 1 out, and already they're down by 4 runs. There's a good chance it could be more than that by the end of this 5th inning.
As Purdue and Gasset just trying to get out of this inning as deep shot into right field. And another home run.
That's a grand slam.
The bench going crazy. It's a grand slam. Add tack on 4 more. Michigan just opening the floodgates here in the 5th.
Yeah, that's been the story of today. It's been all Michigan Wolverines so far. They allowed 1 run in the 3rd inning, but since then they've gotten 9 unanswered runs. And we're only through 5, not even through 5 innings at this point. And
well, here as Dean Mooney and Slam here at Caleb. And so first of the weekend series to the Boilermakers, Michigan Wolverines. But Friday.
yeah, and what a day. The story, like we said, has been all Wolverines today, and with that, the Wolverines pick up their first win in Big Ten play in dramatic fashion, nonetheless. But really, a great start for the Wolverines to this weekend. Obviously, we've got 2 more games against the Boilermakers, but what a win today! A major statement made by the Wolverines early on, and at this point, they're not at all out of the race for the Big Ten tournament, and there's still a lot of conference play left to go. And this is a wonderful start to the 3rd series, Big Ten series of the season.
You just said this for there. Danny. Yeah. There. Outline sends first win in this weekend series. First for Boilermakers, WCBN will have coverage for the rest of the weekend. And this with all Michigan sports, men's basketball tonight, WCBN will have coverage. Ice, hockey. There's a ton of just great time for Michigan sports right now. Look at this thoughts on with tonight's game. Michigan, Alabama. Alabama obviously missed some players, and Michigan, LJK, them done for the season. Both looking forward to tonight for the basketball.
Yeah, it's exciting, an exciting weekend for University of Michigan athletics. Obviously, a huge matchup between Michigan and Alabama, and what looks like very familiar to the 2024 Rose Bowl. You've got the number 1 seed Michigan against the 4-seeded Alabama, and I expect it to be the same. It should be a back and forth battle. for that spot, the Elite Eight, will be nonetheless a very exciting one. Can't wait to watch it. Tune in. We'll have coverage WCBN 7:30 Eastern tonight. Tune in for sure.
Welcome to the 4-0 once again. Michigan wins it 9-1 on the sensational grand slam. Lily Valamont, Patrick. Michigan once again will face Purdue 2 more times this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday. WCBN Sports. We'll have coverage. For now, I'm following with my main man, Caleb Brown, saying, good afternoon. Go Blue.
Go Blue.